Welcome to my channel Karma Romance Stories. Please like, subscribe for more videos.
The morning my CEO introduced her niece as my replacement, everyone clapped except me. I smiled, shook her hand, packed my office, and walked out without a single argument. They thought I had accepted defeat. 24 hours later, the phone rang. A Pentagon contracting officer asked one simple question: "Where is your key program manager?" When they heard I had resigned, every active contract was placed under federal review. The same executives who celebrated my exit were suddenly begging me to return before their $50 million portfolio disappeared forever. Stay until the end, because what happened next changed every career in that boardroom. For 15 years, I built one of the most trusted government contracting teams in the country. Every major defense project passed through my desk before reaching federal agencies. My job was never about signing papers. It was about earning trust that took years to build. Every audit was clean. Every deadline was met. Every contract renewal came because our clients believed in our team. Our company started as a small defense consulting business with only a handful of employees. I joined when nobody believed we could compete with billion-dollar corporations. Long nights became normal. Weekends disappeared. Vacations were cancelled because government deadlines never waited. Slowly, our reputation grew. We won larger contracts, then even larger ones. Eventually, we managed projects worth tens of millions of dollars. The CEO often stood on stage accepting awards while thanking the entire company. She always called me the backbone of our government division. I never cared about recognition because I believed loyalty would always be rewarded. Everything changed after her niece graduated with an MBA from a prestigious university. She had no experience managing federal contracts. She had never worked with Pentagon acquisition teams. She had never survived a federal compliance audit. Yet within weeks, she received a senior leadership position. At first, I welcomed her. I shared documents. I explained regulations. I introduced her to project managers and compliance officers. I believed everyone deserved a chance to learn. Instead of learning, she started changing everything. She questioned procedures she did not understand. She ignored experienced managers. She believed confidence could replace experience. Soon meetings became uncomfortable. Every suggestion I made was dismissed. Every warning was described as old-fashioned thinking. My team noticed the changes but remained professional. One Monday morning, every executive was called into the conference room. The CEO stood beside her niece with a smile. She announced the company was entering a new era. Then she looked directly at me. She thanked me for my years of service before announcing her niece would immediately take over my department. The room became completely silent. Everyone waited for my reaction. I simply smiled. I congratulated her niece. I wished everyone success. Then I handed the CEO my resignation letter. Some executives smiled because they believed I had accepted defeat. Others looked shocked. Nobody realized what would happen next. Before leaving, I completed every legal transition required by company policy. I documented every project. I transferred every file. I returned every company device. I remained completely professional. The next morning, I enjoyed breakfast with my wife for the first time in years. Then my phone rang. The caller identified himself as a Pentagon contracting officer. He asked where I was. I explained that I no longer worked for the company. There was complete silence. Then he asked another question: "Who replaced you?" After hearing the answer, he thanked me politely and ended the call. 2 hours later, my former coworkers started sending messages. Emergency meetings had filled every conference room. Government contracting officers requested immediate clarification regarding key personnel changes. Several contracts specifically identified experienced program leadership during proposal evaluations. Federal agencies wanted reassurance that qualified personnel still managed sensitive projects. Compliance reviews began immediately. Executives who ignored my experience suddenly realized government contracts depended on more than impressive presentations. The CEO called repeatedly. I did not answer. Her niece called next. She asked if I could explain several compliance requirements because federal officials wanted detailed answers. I wished her good luck. By afternoon, more reviews had started. Clients requested meetings. Auditors requested documentation. Legal advisors filled the executive floor. For years, they believed I was simply another employee. Now they discovered relationships built through honesty could not be replaced overnight. Late that evening, the CEO finally reached me. Her voice sounded completely different. She apologized for everything. She offered a higher salary. She offered a larger office. She even promised executive authority over the entire government division. I thanked her respectfully. Then I declined. I explained that trust once broken cannot be repaired with money. The following weeks became even more difficult for the company. Several experienced managers resigned after watching how leadership treated loyal employees. Recruiters struggled to replace people with decades of specialized experience. Government agencies continued reviewing active programs to ensure compliance standards remained strong. Meanwhile, I accepted an offer from another defense contractor that valued experience instead of family connections. Former clients welcomed me. Former coworkers joined my new team. Together, we built another successful division from the ground up. 1 year later, industry conferences felt very different. Executives who once ignored my advice now approached me with respect. Many admitted they underestimated the importance of experience and integrity. The former CEO eventually retired after investors demanded stronger corporate governance. Her niece quietly left the company. The business survived but never regained its previous reputation in government contracting. Looking back, I realized my greatest victory was never watching someone fail. My greatest victory was refusing to compromise my professionalism. I never shouted. I never threatened anyone. I simply walked away with my reputation intact. Sometimes the strongest response is quiet confidence. When people underestimate years of experience, they often discover the real value only after it is gone. Success built through integrity lasts much longer than success built through favoritism. That lesson followed everyone involved long after the meetings ended. The CEO believed replacing one employee would save money and strengthen family control. Instead, she learned that trust, experience, and professional credibility cannot be inherited. They must be earned one decision at a time. In business, your greatest asset is not your title. It is the reputation people trust when everything is on the line.